Hello and welcome to the Winding Road podcast. Here's a little mind trick for you. Not even a trick, it's just things that we figure out. At least it makes sense to me, and I feel like I would be in the world of disservice if I didn't share my thoughts, because I know, like I said, I can help people through love that will inspire people. And so we're talking today, ladies and gentlemen, about comparing your physical well-being to your mental well-being. But we're going to do it in a specific kind of just like an epiphany type moment for me was if I'm aware how I feel physically, and at times whenever I don't feel all that great, but you power through, you keep going, you keep trying to do the things that are going to get you back healthy again. And I'm like, all right, well, I know I can handle that. I feel that. I assess where I'm at every day physically and how I feel. And I'm like, okay, well, that's the same thing mentally. It's the same. If we can make it the same in our minds to think about how we overcome whenever we're not physically feeling our best, you think about that in your mind and your mental well-being, and we're able to power through that as well. It's the same. It's different, but it's the same. And so a minute ago, I was just thinking about how I was feeling mentally, just doing a check-in with yourself, you're in that flow state constantly, man. If you're doing the right things, you can be in the flow state, you can be in joy, you can be in the zone with your life and living in the now and having faith in the future, in the more. And it's like I started to just get one thought, driving home for the day. It's like, okay, well, what are you going to be thinking about? You're going to be thinking about tomorrow. But I'm not thinking about tomorrow. As we got a bunny here out at night on the winding road, went out of the tall grass for a moment into the short grass and back into the tall grass it goes. And you can start to feel anxious about it if you want, about having to go to work the next day, about having to do something maybe that you don't want to do. But if you're filling your lives with things that you do want to do, you're figuring out ways to make money at things you love, then when you're headed in the right direction, we're stuck in something that we don't love, maybe you cannot get out of it at that time, maybe ever. But what we can do is we can have reverence for it no matter what. No matter what it is, good or bad, it is a part of our lives, and it's the moment and it's the time that we're living in now. We have reverence just for life and existence, period. And we are grateful and thankful for that. And count our blessings. Add them all up. Hopefully it outweighs the things that are the negative, things that you're worried about and stressed out about. Hopefully it outweighs that. If it does not outweigh that, then you need to put some in the good pile and start building that shit up. Once you have that built up, then all of a sudden, whenever you have that thought of the next day of the future, whatever it might be, it's just a thought of one word, maybe two, and you feel those feelings start to come upon you, and you just stop them in their tracks. It might be a very hard thing to obtain. It cannot be obtained in just a short period of time. We have to do it by being sober and of alert mind and treating our bodies as temples. I've learned slowly to do that. And I already kind of had it figured out, like, And obviously life's not always going to go the way you want it. Things are going to happen, curveballs, all that stuff, yada, yada, yeah. But I always had it in my mind, like, yeah, I know there's going to come a time where I'm going to have to get rid of all this negative and get rid of all this bad if I want to achieve greatness. And even as I was doing those things that might have held me back or made it slower towards my goal, I still had faith, and that eventually I was going to be able to come out of those things and overcome those things through God, through love. You could do it through whatever you believe in, however you believe. We're all different in our beliefs, but faith in the more, and just keeping it that simple, for me anyways, is a great way to live. And that's how I found joy. So I didn't worry about what's going to happen tomorrow. I just enjoyed the ride home, talking to you guys, assessing my life. Yeah, it just kind of blew my mind. It's like all the physical stuff, and I think about how I powered through whenever physically wasn't doing well, and think about times mentally when I was able to get through. And now you're able to see things before they happen. And I already saw that years ago. I saw me turning my life around as far as lust, drunkenness, all the sins of man that are put upon us, and the sins that we put upon ourselves. But I'm just trying to enjoy the ride, man. And I'm trying to enjoy the winding road and take it slow, and take in the sights of the great things that you've built up, that you're doing, that are healthy and good. And if you want to live the fast life, I've lived that life. Like I said, never judge anybody for what they're doing, what they might think. It doesn't matter. It does not matter to me. It matters in the sense that I want to help people, but it doesn't matter in the overall grand scheme, because the grand scheme is just the now, and the grand scheme is to do and not be. Said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times, because that's what I have to do to myself in order to maintain the joy, and just to build and to think and to try to have more love and gain more knowledge and understanding. And it's so beautiful. And I know there's going to be more curveballs to come my way, but I've had practice now, and I've dealt with a lot of stuff, not as much as some more than others. But that's the card that was drawn until however I got here and to who I am. And I just wish that as a society that we could understand that better. I really, really do. Like, we just get caught up in so crazy, man. We get caught up in like the quick, fleeting pleasures of the now, but we're always thinking about the future and thinking about the next thing and thinking about instant gratification, or, dreading having to go to work or wherever, and already thinking 2 days in advance of that. And it's like, you might have missed out on an opportunity to learn about yourself more and trying to be a universal human in those times of doing things that you don't want to do, or times of trouble, times of struggle. But we have to have the mindfulness of just taking it all in as one big wave, and letting that wave just crash over you, and having faith that you're going to come out of the wave. Because it is, man. It's one big wave. Total zen, man. Total zen. On to the next topic, on to the next subject, and then we're going to wrap her up. I don't know if you can hear that music playing. It's ever so slightly. I'm just locked in with it, man. And just having reverence for every chord, every strum, every vocal, the words that are being said. How do I interpret them? What meaning does it have to me? How will I use it as I walk throughout my life? Or the energy of that beautiful music that we put in, that is then taken, stored, and taken to the next moment. So beautiful. But, I don't know. You may or may not believe in like signs and all that stuff. This is going to maybe sound silly to some, and that's fine. But encourage you to listen to terrestrial radio. That means FM, AM, whatever it is. Because that's just the universe playing whatever. Obviously, it's DJs, it's a computer system playing a list. It's all marketing. It's all, what people want to hear, all that stuff. I was in it for a long period of time doing sportscasting, as you might know. And so I know a little bit about it. But point is that, like, I don't know, just the songs that come on, just pop on the radio. It just feels like you're meant to be hearing that. You're meant to listen to that. It's all random, right? But it's not. Like, you can think of life as that way, of course, as random, but it's not. Because I believe that that song that I'm hearing, I'm supposed to be listening to it, and then I'm taking a deeper appreciation for it and trying to figure out what I'm supposed to learn from it. And it goes for people that are in your lives as well. Are we actually paying attention to what they're saying to us? Are we having deep conversations with each other? Or are we just talking about nonsense repeatedly? And I know, like, the news and all that stuff is not nonsense to some, and I respect that. But for me, it is definitely nonsense. I don't pay attention to it. I know somebody has to do it, but I can't. That is not me. That is not who I am. I can't be concerned with getting caught up in what's going to happen with anything, really. Why would I? I mean, I'm not even concerned with my own life because I'm letting it play out naturally. I don't have any worries about any of that. Of course, times, sure. We're all human. We're all perfect. We're all not perfect. We're going to have those times in our lives. Absolutely. I'm not saying I have just completely eradicated myself from them. I have not. But I've also gained a lot better understanding of where those things come from, or where I think they do, hypothesize on anything and everything, and it's just is what it is, as they say. Time is what it is. And it's just like, man, I was just driving, it's like there is no time. There is no time. And the more moments that we can have in our lives that we think that there is no time, we're going to be better off for it, I think. That's what I say time is time for. At the same time, of course, I always, I've talked on here in the past about taking advantage of the time that we have, because time is not guaranteed. Not in this form of our earthly body. It's not guaranteed, period. And if we live forever, how do we get outside of time? If we die and nothing happens, we are outside of time, right? Either way, time's not going to exist anymore. Or it might. We might get thrown back into another body, reincarnation, whatever. But like, we go to heaven, we meet God, whatever that looks like. This is total bliss. It's something we can't even begin to comprehend, to understand. We can only take what's here, take nature, take the teachers of the past. Trust that that's inspired by God, the Bible, whatever, and have faith. But Christianity, I was listening to this lady talk about on TikTok the other day. She was saying how it's not a religion. And that's what people said to mock those that believed in Jesus and believed he died on the cross. They were mocking that. And that's what she was saying. And just talking about how, hey, we shouldn't be fighting. We shouldn't be trying to fight any of the stuff that goes on. Yeah, we may think what they're doing, or the other side, if you're going to get political about it, the left and what they're doing, like, I can't get into any of that, man. I can't judge anybody. I can't say anything. I can't judge anybody. It's not my place, man. It's not my place. I just have to show love, and I don't even try to think about it any deeper than that. I am love. God is love. God is in me, a part of me. That's what I believe. And that's who I've made God out to be in my mind. And through the things that I've read, through the things that I've learned, through the things that people have taught me. Like I said, I'm trying to always listen to all sides of everything just to gain more knowledge, man, to gain wisdom, as they say. And I just wish more people could be like that. I think the world will be a better place. And that's why I'm here trying to love and inspire and unite. Appreciate you guys. I'm me, you're you, we are each other. God bless.